Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts with another boxing and a breakdown to the demo. This is Timespinner for the Nintendo Switch. Now this is a limit run physical copy, so getting a copy will not be the easiest. Also keep in mind that Limit Run produces standalone physical cases for just the game, just with the case and no game. So keep in mind if you're going to be getting a copy or looking into a copy, make sure you're going to get a copy that comes with the game and not just the case. As well as that they also produce PlayStation 4 versions of the game as well. So if you're interested in getting it for the PS4, it's also available from Limit Run as well. Now, since the making of this video, there were no updates available, and the Nintendo Switch cartridge comes with the update version 1.01 already on cartridge. So it's the fullest up-to-date version of the game, and I'm really glad that Limit Run is doing a little bit more better job of making sure their physical copies are getting all the updates and content already on the disc or cartridge. That's the way it should always be done, and I'm glad it's done like this. Really glad about it. Now, Timespinner is a Metrovania RPG style game, if you're not aware of it. It's pretty much your bread and butter. There's nothing really too amazing or new in terms of being a Metrovania or RPG-esque kind of style game. But story-wise, you play as Linnea, I hope I'm getting that name right, and you're a time messenger, but you're a clan that's slowly being pushed down by a more powerful empire, and you're being chased for your special relic that you have from your clan as a time machine. And once the clan gets caught, they send a time messenger through the time machine to warn the clan that they got caught and they need to move before they get caught. It's kind of like repeating the process over and over to make sure they can keep moving. But they've been doing it for generation and generation, and they're running out of place to run, and just the clan's getting weaker and weaker for constantly running. Well, events take place, and it's your time to be the time messenger, but the Empire came down on you hard, and as you were trying to be the time messenger to go back in time, events take place, and it gets destroyed, and you get sent off somewhere, and you're trying to recollect where you are, and trying to rebuild the time machine so you can fix history and do your job as a time messenger. I hope you got all that. The story is pretty convoluted here and there. You do jump between time points and so forth, and it's pretty well interesting and done and so forth, but there's a lot of locations and names and people and so forth and history. There's a lot of reading and so forth, so if you're not ultimately into the story, it can feel a little cumbersome. But overall, I did enjoy the gaming part of it, the Metrovania RPG exploring and so forth. It's your typical style. You kill enemies, you get a little bit more stronger with the levels up, and you have special weapons, your orbs, which you can equip different variations of orbs, from a blue orb to a blade orb to a shattered moon orb, and various other things. And every time you kill an enemy with it, that particular orb gets stronger, and of course gets more damage and so forth. It's main RPG elements there. You got equipment, upgrades, and so forth. You find relics that allows you to double jump, swim, and so forth. Your typical Metrovania-esque style game with a mixture of RPG. Kind of like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I mean, if you know that, you know this. The aspect ratio, if you're seeing right now, the black borders all the way around, that's just the way the game is. I don't know why they didn't take advantage of the full screen. I guess they were trying to go for the retro aspects of the game. I'm not a big fan of when they're trying to force retro style-esque kind of style like that. I think they could have just gone widescreen like any other new age retro style game, but just keep that in mind. It doesn't use the full screen when you play Timespinner. Overall, I had a good time. Like I said, I completed the entire game. I played it on normal difficulty, and I didn't really have that hard of a time on normal, especially if you're someone who's used to these kinds of games and grinding and so forth and getting strong and just fighting the boss with, you just breeze through it because you're so high level already. It's your typicalness there. Overall, I didn't ultimately want to go back into the game. When you beat it, you get Nightmare difficulty and New Game Plus, but I don't really care to go back into it. I've already 100% it. Again, as game aspects of it, I did enjoy it, but story-wise and characters and so forth, I thought this was a little weak in the department, because like I said, the time travel gets a little convoluted. There's a lot of names and locations, a lot of reading you have to do, and it's not really well structured very well, in my opinion, of keeping you intrigued in terms of the characters and the story and what's all going on. But music, environments, and sprite work and graphics is very well done, and gameplay is pretty smooth, though I do feel that the jumping mechanic and running around feels a little floaty at times, but that could be personally me. Again, if you're looking for like a quick fix Metrovania, I think the Timespinner will satisfy you that. I wouldn't go into it hoping for a good, amazing story or characters that you're going to fall in love with. Now, on to another subject about the game. Now, this is a personal thing, and this is not attacking or pointing out anything. I just want to make sure it's clear and to the player or you on what you're purchasing. This game has a strong significant for homosexuality. There's a lot of male on male and female female relationships and so forth in the game. Now, whether you're for that or against that, that's just up to you. I just want to make sure that's abundantly clear for you that this is that kind of game. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to support that or you're intrigued by that, that's up to you. Now, other than that, if you're not against or for that, there's another aspects of the game that kind of I noticed that were kind of gender bias a little bit in terms of like Horizon Zero Dawn against males. The game has it where you have these two male leaders and they're evil, and then there's these two female leaders who are actually nice and good and kind. And once you just get rid of all the male leaders and to put women leaders in place, world peace is happening. It kind of happens like with Horizon Zero Dawn, where men are being depicted as evil and just incompetent in their terms of in positions of power. When a woman's in power, it's better. This bugged me a little bit because, again, I know this could offend and upset people, but it just feels like you're not being gender equality. You just feel like you're attacking or trying to act like one gender is better. And that just bugs me a little bit. Not a little bit. It does bug me because then you're not fighting for equality. You're trying to represent that one is better, or trying to show that the other one is incompetent or shining them in a bad light. And again, that goes against everything about equality. And I'm somebody who fights for true equality. So that really bugged me. And there's a segment in the game where they get on to somebody about assuming sexuality in the game. And again, that's just... You can see that kind of stuff being put in this game, and it didn't really need to be there. It just seemed very shoehorned in there just to point it out. And again, I know some people may get upset for me talking about this, and I know that some people don't want me to talk about it, but I feel like that information is how my experience of the game, and I need to point it out. And that's what really bugged me and made me not really interested in the characters and its universe. Not because of homosexuality and so forth, but the way they were trying to represent males in a negative light, and just the don't assume genders and so forth, and sexuality stuff. I hate that stuff. It just feels shoehorned in there just to make someone feel more important as a character, and it doesn't need to be there. It doesn't have any significance of a development of a character or the universe. But I don't have no problems with the male on male and female female aspects of the game. But that's just something I want to be brought up in case you do have a problem with it. So again, I know that's a touchy subject, but I did want to bring it up because that's my responsibility is doing these kind of unboxing videos and bringing information about the game. So, in my opinion, it's great if you want to play this game for a Metroidvania fix, if you like these kinds of games where you're constantly progressing, getting stronger, new game plus, and just playing it. In terms of story and character, I wouldn't go into it for that. Who knows, you may really love the time world and time travel and stuff concept of the game, but to me, I just kind of just played it just to play it. I didn't really pay attention to the story or characters. But overall, I did have fun. I did 100% the game. So, like always, I'll try to leave links down in the description if you're instant copy. Please keep in mind, like I said, it's a limit run physical copies, so getting a copy will not be the easiest. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next unboxing video. Bye-bye!